Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? It's getting extremely dangerous out there now in Israel, as well as the entire Middle East now is really on pins and needles. And in America, the pipeline fiasco, the Biden pipeline fiasco, forget the Keystone pipeline. He closed that already. Forget it. He shut that down day one. And now Virginia, the gas price at $7 a gallon, and 10,000 gas stations has no gas. What? Let me tell you all about it in just a second. First of all, guys, I mean, unbelievable. In North Carolina, I feel sorry for you. I really do. First of all, we've got a serious situation developing. But before I can go any further, I really want to tell you about something that I think might maybe cool you down a little bit, because we all need a little cooling down after this news. www.easysummercool.com. That's www.easysummercool.com. You can get 50% off and free shipping if you go to www.easysummercool.com. Now, look, in this summer is anything like last summer, which was a record-breaking temperatures, then cities around the world are going to be experiencing the hottest summers ever on record. And it's getting extra hot where I live as right now in Florida. That's why I've been easily staying cool as much as I can. And there's this mini air-conditioned unit comes with multiple adjustable modes to tailor it to your environment and preferences. It also works as a portable air cooler and an air humidifier. Now, I've partnered up with Easy Summer Cool to give my audience a 50% off plus a 30-day money-back guarantee to own their own mini AC unit. Just simply go to www.easysummercool.com. That's www.easysummercool.com. Here's what the unit looks like, just so you'll know. It sits right on your desk, and it's really neat. Okay, and see how it collects water like a humidifier and blows cool air like an air conditioner, and you can set it right on your desk wherever it is especially where you spend a lot of time by your computer. Set it wherever you're at near your computer, and let it blow cool air on you. All right, guys, that's a real neat product. Okay, that's a real neat product. They did a good job developing that. All right, now, having said all that, wow, it's going to get ugly. It already is ugly. Let's go to Virginia. I want to share with you something that's going on. $7 a gallon gasoline now in Virginia. Drivers are shocked when they got they're standing, they're way in line. They work their way up to the front. They finally get to the pump, and the gas price is $6.9999 a gallon, or $7 a gallon at a Richmond, Virginia BP gas station. There have been gas shortages all across the Southeast after the pipeline operation was forced to close down for days and days after this cyber attack. It's unbelievable. The BP station was located. The first one we saw at Williamsburg Road and Parker Street over in Richmond, Virginia. It's a long way to Richmond, going down Highway 95. That's right. Seriously. Listen, the person said they pulled in, they started pumping gas, and they realized that they'd put $80 worth of gas in his truck. Another driver told us that a lady next to me, he said, we just put it in and started pumping, didn't look to see what the price was, and it was $100 she put in her car. Her car was on empty. She's just broke down and started crying. Now, price gouging is against the law in Virginia, and Virginia has declared a state of emergency now by Governor Ralph Northam. Residents are encouraged to file price gouging complaints if they are being unfairly charged. The question is, are they being unfairly charged? You might say, well, $7 a gallon. They have to be. Maybe not. Virginia and North Carolina, there is out of gas. So whatever these gas station companies have to pay to get a tanker, they're going to have to raise the price to make a profit. And in some cases, I'm hearing the gas they're buying is costing them over $5 a gallon. So they're naturally going to raise that price up to $6.50, to 7, 8, 10. We don't know where it's going. Now, we understand that the Biden administration says it's staying very quiet and saying it's going to be okay. Just hang on. But here's the deal. It costs $5 million to pay the ransom. $5 million is apparently what they paid for the ransom on this deal. And from what I'm hearing, that was just to get the malware to send them an encrypted code on how to unravel the lockdown. Well, it took 48 hours. The encryption was so slow. It took 48 hours before it finally unlocked it. Now, meanwhile, Biden ordered all the gas that was in the pipeline, ship it all to New York to make sure New York doesn't run out of gas. But what they did was cost, especially along the pipeline, right before on the way up to New York, the last two states on the line were North Carolina and Virginia, and they're the ones that are taking the biggest hit, and they're the ones that run out of gas first and are taking the largest hit of anybody. And it's just unbelievable what's going on right now. So, and we're not out of the woods here, because it's going to take 2 weeks to restart this thing, getting gas started before you can refill the pipeline. And again, the last two states that will get gas will be North Carolina and Virginia. You can expect prices to even go higher. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's just, what are you going to do? How did this happen right before Memorial Day? People are not buying the explanation. They don't know why. They haven't seen Joe Biden near a gas tank. They haven't seen, look, folks, they haven't seen Kamala Harris anywhere near the border, the southern border, when that crisis, they didn't even want to call it a crisis. They wouldn't even call it a crisis. They still haven't called it a crisis. Biden accidentally said that we can't handle more than one crisis at a time, admitting that the border was one of them. So we have not seen the president. He said Vice President Kamala Harris was in charge of the border. We haven't seen her anywhere near a border of Mexico, nowhere even close to the border. We don't know where she's at even in a lot of cases. And if that's not enough, if that's not enough, then what are you going to do about the fact that now Biden just now called Netanyahu after 1,500 rockets were fired out of Gaza into Israel? And folks, I got breaking news. Lebanon has just now fired 3 rockets tonight into Israel. So what's that mean? Is Hezbollah about to start firing their rockets too? What does this mean? And what about Iran and Syria over the Golan Heights and Russia? Are we on the brink of Ezekiel 38? Now, I'm going to talk to you more about that in a minute, but we haven't seen Kamala Harris anywhere near the southern border, and she's in charge of it, and that's a disaster down there. And now, but we're not even talking about that now. Why? Because we don't have any gas in the South. So now we have 10,000 gas stations without gas. I'm going to predict that it's going to get as many as 20,000 gas stations without gas before this thing starts to get better. And gas will probably go to $10 a gallon in North Carolina and Virginia before it gets better. And this is seriously. And where's Joe Biden? I mean, seriously, where is the president? He should at least be at a gas station staring at the pump asking, how fast can we get this fixed? How are we going to get this fixed? What are we going to do to get this fixed? We haven't had a press conference. We haven't had an explanation. We haven't had an address to the nation. And this is going to affect the trucking industry. This is going to affect your next thing you're going to see, guys, in the next week. Shortages of food, shortage of commodities like toilet paper, and on down the line. You're going to see a lack of food, meat, staples of things that you normally buy. Why? Because trucks can't roll if there's no diesel to put in the truck. And by the time there is diesel, you got thousands of gas stations out of gas. You got people wanting to travel for Memorial Day weekend. They've been cooped up with COVID for 18 months. And this is another way to keep people coped up, I guess. Coped up. Just cooped up and coped up, I guess. Did I say coped up? I meant cooped up. That's another way to do it, is if there's no gas. Now, guys, I'm going to be talking to Mike from around the world tonight. Look, this has got to be a show of biblical proportion. Mike from around the world tonight's broadcast starts at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We got to talk. Well, first of all, Mike wants to talk about time dilation. And then we're also going to talk about the Holy Land, the Middle East. We got to talk about ransomware and the pipeline and the gas shortages and the food shortages. And how does these hackers how did this stuff get hacked? How's our infrastructure being hacked? What about the bridge that broke down with cracks in it on I-40 from Memphis, Tennessee to Arkansas? That's backing up, and we can't even bring a barge down the Mississippi because they can't lift the bridge. What's going on, guys? It feels like the wheels are coming off in America. It feels like the wheels are coming off. Yeah, what does he mean by time dilation? Are we nearing a black hole? Is time speeding up? Is the Bible prophecies coming to pass? Are we on the edge of eternity? Are we at the brink of the beast? Are we in the apocalyptic hour? Is something biblical going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ? Are you serious? What?